And then lastly, the last key for receiving what God has given is choose to go the whole way in faith. Choose to go the whole way in faith. Hebrews 10 verse 32 to 39, Message translation. Hebrews 10, 32 to 39, Message translation. It says, remember those early days after you first saw the light, you were enlightened. Those were the hard times. 33. Kicked around in public, targets of every kind of abuse. Some days it was you, other days your friend. Hardship. You went through hardship. You're going through hardship. 34. If some friends went to prison, you stuck by them. If some enemies broke in and seized your goods, you let them go with a smile, knowing they couldn't touch your real treasure. No matter how they stole, no matter what they did, they couldn't. There's a real treasure they couldn't take, they couldn't touch. Nothing they did bothered you. Nothing set you back. 35. So don't throw it all away now. You were sure of yourselves then. It is still a sure thing. Somebody getting it? It is still a sure thing. 36. But you need to stick it out. Stay with God's plan so you will be there for the promised completion. 37. It won't be long now. He's on the way. Somebody's getting it. It won't be long now. He's on the way. It won't be long. Your ministry is kicking back again. It won't be long now. It won't be long now. He's on the way. He will show up most any minute from now. 38. But anyone who is right with me thrives on loyal trust. If he cuts and runs, I won't be very happy. 39. But we are not quitters who lose out. We are not quitters. Faith people don't quit. We are not quitters who lose out. Oh no, we will stay with it and survive, trusting all the way. Listen, just like in business, you can't eat your capital. If you eat your capital, you can't have profits. In spiritual life, faith is your capital. If you throw it away or lose your capital, you won't experience the gains that your life should produce. Just like a business depends on capital, your spiritual life depends on faith to receive from God. Hebrews 6 verse 12 to 15. Hebrews 6 verse 12 to 15. TPT. Hebrews 6 verse 12 to 15. TPT. Faith people are not quitters. We must choose regardless of what we go through, regardless of the storms we face, not to give up. That's what that scripture says. Not to give up, to stay all the way. Because you see, the promised completion is now. It is settled. Choose to go all the way in your faith journey. Hebrews 6 verse 12 to 15 TPT. So don't allow your heart to grow dull, no matter the challenges, or lose your enthusiasm, but follow the example of those who fully received what God has promised because of their strong faith and patient endurance. 13. Now, when God made a promise to Abraham, since there was no one greater than himself, he swore an oath on his own integrity to keep the promise as sure as he exists. He swore an oath on his own integrity. God can never lie. He says it is your year. It is your year. There's no one greater than him, so he swore an oath on himself. I swear by God. I swear by God, I will bless her. I swear by God, she will carry a baby. I swear by God, finances will be plenty. He swore an oath on his own integrity to keep the promise. As sure as God exists. 14. So he said, have no doubts. I promise to bless you over and over. Is this a word? I promise to bless you. The kind of blessing I want to bless is something you can't imagine. It is, I am the one, I have the multiplier effect. You may ask me for one thing, but I can give you 10 things. You have come here with 3 prayer requests, but I am the one, have no doubts. I promise to bless you over and over and give you a son and multiply you. Multiply you. Multiply you is without measure. 15. So Abraham waited patiently in faith and succeeded in seeing the promise. In seeing, you will not lose your life until that which has been spoken by God comes into fulfillment. Listen from this scripture. It says, follow those. Follow those. Follow the example of those who are following. There are people in this life. You don't need to struggle. There are people who have gone out. They have gone through your situation and they have received their promise. Follow them. Follow them. Look for them. There are people, this journey of looking for a child, there are people who have gone through that journey. Follow them. I read in Pastor Midra's interview. She said she began when she was crying and crying and crying. When 3 years after, first 3 years after she got married, waiting for a child, no child, she cried. The 3rd year, she embraced faith. Then she didn't stop there. Why she wrote down specific scriptures that God was showing her concerning her situation, she began to look for people who have gone on that journey and they have received their promise. She started looking for them. Because why? When you follow people who have gone through what you are going through, you get strengthened. You know that indeed God knows they lie when you follow them. Because you see, faith is contagious. Faith is very contagious. Follow faith foilers, you'll be foiled. See, follow people, not just people who may have gone through similar situation or situation that you are going through. Follow people who can strengthen you and remind you of God's promises in your life. Follow them. Look at this, 1 Samuel 23, verse 15 to 17, NIV. 1 Samuel 23, verse 15 to 17, NIV. It says, why David, NIV, 1 Samuel 23, verse 15 to 17. It says, why David was at Horesh in the desert of Ziph. 1 Samuel 23, 15 to 17. Why David was at Horesh in the desert of Ziph. He learned that Saul had come out to take his life. And Saul's son, Jonathan, went to David at Horesh and helped him find strength in God. 17. Don't be afraid, Jonathan said. My father Saul will not lay a hand on you. You will be king over Israel, and I will be second to you. Even my father Saul knows this. Which kind of friend is this? He could have been jealous over David. It's not his father. Naturally, he should be the next. But you see, follow people that understand covenants, not condition. Follow people that are not competing with you. They are faithfulers. Some days your strength will be low. They will remind you of God's promise over your life. They are there. Follow them. Follow people that will strengthen. Faith is contagious. There are people, God may not be speaking to them, but they understand what God is speaking to you. They will be there. Do you know what it is? Jonathan was a son to Saul, but he understood. These are covenant friends. faith-filled people. The promise wasn't spoken to Jonathan, it was spoken to David. But yet, wasn't in competition. No jealousy. He was there, a faith booster. Follow people who can strengthen you and remind you of God's promise. Follow people who are willing to push you to your season. Follow them. Follow them. Mark 2 verse 1 to 5 NIV. Mark 2 verse 1 to 5 NIV. A few days later, when Jesus again entered Capernaum, the people heard that he had come home. Verse 2. They gathered in such large numbers that there was no room left, not even outside. Imagine Jesus is here. Just imagine it. So there was large crowd in numbers. No space for anybody to enter. Not even outside. Everywhere choked. And he preached the word to them. Verse 3. Some men came, bringing to him a paralyzed man. Some men. You need some men. You need those people. Carried by 4 of them. Since they could not get him to Jesus because of the crowd, they made an opening in the roof above. They couldn't bring him to Jesus, but they didn't leave him. Faithfulness. Until you receive your miracle, won't leave you. They made an opening in the roof above Jesus by digging through. They broke the roof. They broke the roof so that the paralytic man will receive healing. They did not give up. They made an opening in the roof above Jesus by digging through it and then lowered the mats that the man was lying on. When Jesus saw what? Their faith. When Jesus saw their faith. When Jesus saw their faith, he said to the paralytic, it was a corporate faith for us individual faiths. When Jesus saw their faith, probably there's no way the man could have even gotten to the venue that we had. Probably they saw him on the road. They carried him. When a man is standing, when he's now paralytic, his weight is more weighty. They carried this man. When Jesus saw them, follow people who will strengthen you. Follow people who will see to it that you've obtained God's promises. To see to it that you obtain God's promises over your life.